Hi everybody, thanks for being here today and joining me for the reading for Scorpio for the 1st to the 15th of April. Got a new way of doing things and went back to the longer readings here because I find that little bit more involvement gives everyone a better idea of what the fuller message is. Now, as always, these cards have popped out or I've been drawn to them. And, reading in between these cards here, all the different energies, is what brings the reading forward for you. Now, I hope you enjoy the reading and let's get started. All right, we'll start over here in this top corner. Now we've got the Ace of Cups, the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. Now, are you feeling very emotional? And it's as if you've got so much going on inside you that it's just too much for you to handle. And could it be that you're feeling that you possibly need peace? You need a little bit of rest from all of this turbulent emotion that you've got going on that's overflowing. So it could be that maybe you need a little bit of quiet, you need a little bit of time for you to rest and recuperate and just get over some of the things that's been going on, because it does seem that you are overwhelmed. Now, what is it that you're overwhelmed with? The next card you have here is the King of Swords. So, apart from being overwhelmed, is there something that you have been thinking about, possibly for a while? It could be that it's been going on for weeks or months. And all of the stress and strain, all of the emotions that you've been going through, the roller coaster that's there, have you been trying to figure everything out? Trying to get your head round where everything's coming from, why it's all happening. And it could be that, you finally come to an understanding. You finally get to the bottom of what you have to do. And with this being the king here, this is the time that you begin to take control and believe in yourself, believe in the things that you want to do, because you need to do the things that are right for you. And there's also, apart from thinking about the emotional side here, it looks as though you've also been thinking about the practical side, the resources, the money, things that you like to have round about you. And it could also be that you're looking towards maybe using all of the resources that you have available to you and making sure that you get the best use out of every penny as quickly as you can. Because you want to have pleasant surroundings. So there is 3 very different views on what's been going on. You're emotionally overwhelmed. You've been thinking about the situation and how to take control of it and exactly what the truth of it all is. And in making the decision, you feel that you're right and you want to be practical in whatever it is that you're planning to do. And because this is the Queen of Pentacles, and it is about resources and being practical, it could be that, you're looking to use those resources in a way to benefit your situation. Now let's go on to the next set of cards, and we have a full section here full of swords. So there's a lot of thinking going on here, a lot of trying to get to the bottom of something that's really bothering you. Now, with all of this thinking over here about your emotions and the practicalities of what you're thinking about or what you're planning to do, has it to do with getting rid of a situation because the situation has become so overwhelming that you've had enough. You just want to say stop. And it could be that you decide that you no longer want to be in that situation and you plan to leave, whatever it may be. It could be that it's a job that's overwhelming. It could be that it's a social setting. It could be family. There's a whole range because there's nothing specific here yet to say what situation has got out of control. Apart from the fact that you're deciding that it is too much and it's time to put a stop to it. You could be listening to your own advice here because we have the Queen of Swords here. And it could be that, you are finally realising through all of this time spent mulling everything over that, you need to take advice, even if it is from yourself, and make decisions, even to the point of cutting things or people out. It could be that, there's a conversation that has to be had that sets clear, ground lines about what's going to happen. It could be that, there is a plan that you want to, find out if it's the best way to do it. And that could be around the practicalities and the resources. But the thing is, we also have the Two of Swords in reverse here. So, are you still maybe trying to... Are you still maybe trying to let this person that's made you feel like this off the hook? Are you still trying to ignore everything that's been done? You could be thinking that it's all in your mind, that you're blowing things out of proportion, and that could be something that has been said to you. But the thing is that your emotions are valid. And all of the things that you've been thinking about and, you've realised is getting too much, and even to the point of taking your own advice or someone that you trust. Has this advice finally made you realise that it's not in your mind? That you have been ignoring all of these different things? That you've been sitting on your hands and allowing all of this to happen? Let's move down to the next set of cards here. And we have the Ten of Swords, the Chariot in reverse, and the Sun card. Now, have you finally listened to your inner voice, your intuition, and possibly if you've taken advice from other people, maybe a friend or family member, maybe even a professional, and have realised that you have been allowing things to go on. You've been ignoring things that really shouldn't have been happening. And that it is time to say enough. That you needed someone else to, just say what you were thinking. Because it could be that you just needed that little bit of reassurance that someone else was on the same page and it isn't all in your head. And for the Ten of Swords, every single harsh word, every single, manipulation or lie, every little fight has all mounted up. And it could be that that is what has been overwhelming you. Maybe difficult situations in work or in your social group or within your family. Someone taking advantage, and it's in a situation that you've had enough. And it's time to put an end to it. It's time to let all of these things that are controlling your thoughts to throw them away, to lock them out. Because that's something that you don't need, especially if it's affecting how you feel about yourself. Now, the next card we have here is the Chariot in reverse. So now that you have decided that this is something you've had enough of, and that you're drawing a line in the sand, do you maybe feel, what do I do now? I've made the decision. Where do I go? How do I do this? And it could be that, you falter for a moment or two because it's taken so long for you to get to the point of making the decision that now you're here. You're like, oh, okay, what do I do? And you could even find yourself, maybe delaying things a little bit. Because it could be that you need to just get used to this place where you stand up for yourself, where you say, I'm not doing it anymore. And where you begin to take an opposite view from the other person that's been causing you so much strife. And with the Sun card here, that moment of clarity that you've had enough and okay, what do I do now? And that little bit of taking a deep breath and letting it out and, maybe faltering for a moment. It could all be part of getting to grips with the clarity of the moment and the elation of the moment, the happiness of the moment that all of these things that you've been putting up with and has been putting you under great strain is about to end because you're not taking it anymore. You're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to oppose this person's behaviour. And you could feel, a moment of optimism, a moment that you're elated, that you're just so happy that you can see the bigger picture, that you can see that it's not all in your head, that other people feel it as well, and that it's time to come to an end. Now, could it be also that the reason that this has maybe been going on for so long and it's taken such time to get to the place where you think, enough, I'm getting out of this situation, you know, this has got to end? Is it because with the magician in reverse here, does this person have a lot of charm? Do they have the gift of the gab? Are they quite good at manipulating people to do things for them? And they could be using all of these positive gifts for their own ends. And they're only really in certain things for what they can get out of it. And with the King of Pentacles following this, are they maybe using all of those skills and abilities to exploit those people round about them? Are they maybe getting people to do all of their chores or cover for them when they're supposed to be doing work, or actually doing the work that this other person should be doing? It could be this is the King of Pentacles as well, so this could be about, manipulating people for money and their possessions. And it could be that now you have got to this place where you understand what you want to do and that you can see a way forward in it. Are you still thinking about all of that and maybe not dealing with this situation? Because the Seven of Cups here has a little bit in it about escapism. Here you're escaping a situation that has become impossible. But here you're escaping into your own dreams, your own, plans for the future, your own clarity of what you want to happen. And you're not actually dealing with this person here. So that is the difficulty here, because if you're still ignoring the facts, only you're escaping from dealing with it, then this is not going to change. This person is still going to be in your life and using his abilities to suit what they want from life. So instead of maybe being lost in the what may be or what will be in the future, if you deal with this situation now, then you'll get to the end result a lot quicker. But the message here is that you have had enough of someone else's manipulation and someone else's, misuse of the good parts of their personality. And it's just that, you know, your realization of what's been going on. So this is an awakening for you as well. And it could be that, and with the Seven of Cups in reverse here, it could also be that you've had so much emotional strain up here for however long that's been going on, that when you come to the realization and have to deal with it, it could be that you're caught in this moment of happiness because this has been a big step. Now the thing is that we do have the Chariot in reverse and the Seven of Cups in reverse. So don't lose control of this situation. You have come so far in realizing what's been going on, in making decisions, in asking for advice, and having the clarity. Don't pull out at the last minute because you've maybe having a delay and being a bit lost in the next steps, and then getting caught up in the what ifs. What may be? Wouldn't it be great if this whole situation went away? And what would life be like? So don't get caught up in the what ifs. Deal with the situation, and you won't need the what ifs because you'll be living in this happy place. All right, I'm going to stop there because I'm going round in circles now. So I hope this reading has gave you a message or two or reflected something within your life. And if it hasn't, then maybe this reading, is not quite the one for you because every Scorpio is an individual and have their own life experiences. So it could be with the general reading that the next one may have a message for you. All right, I'll see you next time. Take care now, Scorpio. Bye.